Hello and welcome back to Transfer Review, where we put silly season under the microscope. Joining me today, it's Henry Hill. We're filming this the day before England versus Denmark. Henry, how are you?
Oh, don't. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous about this game. I'm just trying to race through my work so I can kind of get myself mentally prepared. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to jot my England team sheet down and we'll go from there. How about you, Dougie? Are you still sad about Scotland's exit, or are you all for England now?
No, I mean, Scotland's exit. I mean, that was a while ago, to be fair. They did a good enough job in this tournament. But no, it's all about England now. I am very nervous. I've got a lot on my plate, actually. My sister is currently in labour. It's my girlfriend's birthday. Wow. And England are in a major tournament semi-final. So there is a hell of a lot going on right now. But anyway, let's get into today's show, because we'll be previewing England versus Denmark in different shows. It's on the podcast this week, but this is all about transfers that we love and we hate. And we're kicking off with the transfer that we love, and it's Houssem Aouar to Arsenal. What is going on with this one, Henry? It's back again.
Yeah, I really like this one. As you say, back again. It was certainly a big feature of last summer, wasn't it? I think Arsenal did bid for him, but the Lyon president refused to budge. Well, apparently, they've now lodged a secret €25 million bid for Aouar. That's according to Foot Mercato. Aouar, as we all know, a bit of a quality player, 23-year-old Frenchman. He's been at Lyon for the last 4 years. And, you know, the Gunners did look at him, but they went for Thomas Partey instead. I remember talking about this with Patrick van Strassen on the podcast last year. It was an interesting move considering Thomas Partey's age and the kind of price involved. But you know what? If they can land him for a cheaper price this year, which it certainly looks like it might be, then it could be a good piece of business. Foot Mercato claimed that Lyon are sort of resigned to losing him this summer. He's their academy graduate. And there's going to be a lot of interest in him too. It looks like PSG are monitoring the situation, but maybe Camavinga or Pogba are sort of higher up their pecking order, while Le Sport 10, they think that Atletico Madrid are also interested in signing him too. Obviously, looks like they're going in for Rodrigo de Paul, so maybe I think Aouar behind him could be a nice combination there. I mean, if it came down to a shootout between Arsenal and Atleti as well, you can't look past the idea that Los Rojiblancos would come out top, considering they are Spanish champions and have sort of consistent Champions League football to offer. And that is kind of where you expect Aouar to be aiming for. Arsenal finished 8th, 6 points off the top 4. The 5th consecutive time they've failed to qualify for Europe's premier competition. We saw Guendouzi, sort of saying that they've dropped off in recent years. Not quite sure what's happening there. So it's not all sort of going to plan. But this is definitely the kind of signing that they'd want to make to kind of push back on the right path. He's a really creative player. I'm sure you'll go into his numbers too. But it's tricky for Lyon. They missed out on Champions League football last season, despite a bit of resurgence under Rudy Garcia. Memphis Depay has already gone to Barcelona. We're not quite sure where Moussa Dembele might be ending up by the time the summer is out. And Ligue, it does look a bit... I was thinking this before I sort of saw the script, Dougie. Considering PSG's incredible business, Hakimi confirmed yesterday. It looks like Donnarumma's going there as well as Sergio Ramos. And if you look at kind of the fallout of Lille with Christophe Galtier, almost looking like he'll be heading to Nice. It does look like Ligue will be heading back to Paris next year at a canter. Yeah, shame indeed. But if Houssem Aouar was to join Arsenal in the secret bid, as it says, what do you think he'll be bringing to the club?
Yeah, I mean, it's Foot Mercato advertising it as a secret bid, but now we put it on Football Daily. I'm not sure how secret it is now. But anyway, he had a slightly challenging 2020-21 season, Houssem Aouar, that was. He missed 4 games with injury. He was actually often left on the bench by Rudy Garcia as well. Only started 23 league games, 7 off the bench in the league. But in that time, he still managed to contribute 7 goals and 3 assists. He's actually got very consistent output. He's contributed at least 7 league goals in 3 of the last 4 seasons. And his versatility would be a key asset to Arteta. He can play on the left of the midfield 3, he can play as a number 10, or on the left wing as well. And his 2021 stats show sort of what sort of player he is. Just 1.5 tackles and interceptions per 90. That has been higher. I think it was around 3.5 in 2017-18. But 3.5 shots, 2 key passes and 2.3 dribbles per 90. So overall, his attacking output last year just really came on leaps and bounds. He was averaging 0.73 expected goals and assists per 90, a massive improvement on his previous best of 0.34 set in 2017-18. For context, his tally of 0.53 expected goals per 90 was only topped by Lacazette last term in the Gunners' ranks. As I said, can be used more effectively defensively as well, but his main strength is sort of dribbling through tight spaces, linking the midfield and attack, which was often a problem, particularly in the first half of last season under Arteta. And with Ceballos, Odegaard, Guendouzi and Xhaka either having left or being close to leaving as well, and Lucas Torreira looks like it will leave as well, it looks like Arsenal needs a major surgery in midfield this summer. So a €25 million move for a player with 15 Champions League appearances under his belt, and in that time contributing 1 goal and 7 assists, so really performed at the top level for a number of years now, with a massive sell-on value, who's only 23. What's not to love about this move? I'm personally absolutely over the moon if Arsenal can get this done. Not as an Arsenal fan, obviously, I'm a Sunderland fan, but I just think it's the sort of move that I'd like to see Arsenal do as they look to continue their journey back to the top. But, I mean, Henry, it is a bit slightly concerning that they are selling so many midfielders this summer and so many players throughout their side.
Yes and no. I think there's an element they need to raise a bit of money. Obviously Xhaka looked very impressive in the latter stage of the Euros, but I think sort of for most Arsenal fans, they're at the end of the tether with him in terms of reliability, and if they can get some money from Roma, then why not? Guendouzi, really interesting response on the sort of Euro Football Daily community page. A lot of people saying that was a big mistake that Guendouzi was sold, but I still think £10 million is a pretty good value for him. And if they can get some of the players in, like they said, it looks like Lokonga is going to be joining from Anderlecht, and then there's talks about maybe Ruben Neves, and if they can get some like Aouar here, then I think they've got a pretty effective midfield going on. And let's not forget Joe Willock. I think he deserves a chance to show what he can do in that Arsenal midfield too.
Fair. I thought Guendouzi was on loan. Was it £10 million? I missed that. Fair enough. I thought Guendouzi was on loan, but either way, he definitely needs some developing to do, mainly as a man rather than a player, Guendouzi, so we'll see what happens there. But Arsenal fans, what do you make of your summer business? It's certainly been busy. Get your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's move on to the transfer we hate.
Next up, we have our transfer that we don't like, and this is Antoine Griezmann to Chelsea. Barcelona obviously trying to shift a lot of players off their books. Dougie, why are we not too confident on this one?
Well, I mean, firstly, it's become clear over the last few days that Barcelona's situation financially is a whole lot worse than we thought it was. Yeah. And, you know, the full extent has only become apparent. I think you need to go check out Zach Lowy, the Twitter analyst thread, for the full details on that. But it is really quite shocking. But it's basically emerged that the Blaugrana need to cut their wage bill by €200 million in order to comply with La Liga's salary cap. That means, and unless they do that, they won't be able to register their new signings. Depay, Aguero, Garcia, Emerson, none of them. So that's, you know, they need to cut their wage bill by €200 million, and they're trying to tie Lionel Messi down to a new deal as well. So supposedly now, pretty much all of Barcelona's squad, whether you're a legend or a new player or a hot prospect, are up for sale, or at least they will countenance an offer for you if it comes in and it's suitable. And there's now numerous reports saying that Antoine Griezmann is being offered to a lot of Europe's top clubs, and Chelsea included in that. Football.London claim that Thomas Tuchel is looking to bring in a defender, midfielder and an attacker this summer in order to build on that Champions League win last May, was it? And challenge for the Premier League title next season. So top of their list for their striker is, of course, Erling Haaland, but with Dortmund already agreeing to sell Sancho for €85 million to Man United, it seems highly unlikely they'll sell another star. Romelu Lukaku has already confirmed that he wants to stay at Inter Milan. So Griezmann is sort of the next cab off the rank, as it were. And Tuchel has made clear of his admiration for Griezmann in the past. In 2019, when he was the PSG manager, he said, "He can play with any team in the world. It would please any coach, but right now it is not realistic." So, with the German and known Mara, why aren't we keen on this deal exactly, Henry? It's not because he's not a talented player, but maybe just the wrong age and stage. Yeah,
I think that's true. I'm a big admirer of Griezmann too. You know, 30-year-old Frenchman is a magnificent player, isn't he? Well, his 35 goals and 17 assists in 99 games for Barcelona is slightly underwhelming when you consider they paid €120 million. I think that's more Josep Bartomeu got it in his head that Griezmann was the man. It was like a defining moment in his project in many ways, and he sort of went and paid that ridiculous release clause for him. That's not Griezmann's fault at all. I think you should never criticise a player for how much a club chooses to pay for you. You know, he showed his quality again during the Euros. He only scored once in 4 appearances, but averaged 1.8 shots and 2.5 key passes per 90. And actually looked world class throughout. You know, I think when France took him off against Switzerland, that's kind of where it started to go a bit wrong from there. The problem is he really does earn quite a lot of money, doesn't he? 343,000 euros per week, and that's more than Chelsea's current highest earner, N'Golo Kanté, who's on about £290,000 per week. It's a slight differential there, would Chelsea really restructure their wage bill to sort of compensate someone who'll be 31 next March? Not too sure. Not to mention the fee, that would surely be around the €50 million mark, though I would imagine they could probably get a deal a bit lower if Barcelona are as desperate as they claim to be. And I'm not sure if he's the out-and-out forward that Chelsea need if we consider some of their limitations last season. You know, Tuchel, if he does persist with this 3-4-3 formation, then Mount and Havertz, not Hazard, are best placed to play on either side of they're best placed to play either side of the number 9. And if they sign a number 9, if they do sign a number 9, then I think Werner will be pushed out to the left. That's what a lot of us are expecting. I'm not sure that Griezmann is that out and out forward. He tends to like to play a bit behind a central striker, doesn't he? Sort of occupy that space there. I think this is tricky. I think they do have their heart set on Erling Haaland, and maybe should save their pennies for that inevitable race for his transfer next season. And you know, there's other options out there. Alexander Isak, Patrick Schick, maybe. He's had a really good, amazing Euros, in fact. It looks like he could end as joint top scorer. And obviously they've missed out on Andre Silva too, who's got that kind of surprising under-the-radar move to Leipzig this summer. But yeah, I mean, Antoine Griezmann, if he didn't go to Chelsea, where do you think he could actually fit in? Because I think maybe Italy would be his best bet.
Yeah, it's quite tricky to know, really. I think, you know, Juventus aren't in the greatest financial situation either. But maybe if, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo left, then they look to bring in Griezmann. But I don't think that's a really like-for-like player replacement in terms of their sort of qualities. Maybe if someone got Lautaro Martinez off into Milan, he'd be a good fit there. Otherwise, I'm really struggling to see options. I don't think Man United are going to be recruiting a number 9. I don't think, you know, someone like Liverpool will be looking at a player like Griezmann. So it's kind of Chelsea or nowhere, really. And I don't think he really fits in with Chelsea at the moment either. It's just an absolute mess what Josep Bartomeu did to Barcelona. I feel really sorry for their fans. I know they get a lot of stick on social media. Some, you know, proportion of them, a very small minority, are fairly arrogant. I think, you know, most clubs have that. But the most of them are good, solid people, and they've just been completely screwed over by a completely corrupt and inept sort of bureaucrat who was a basketball expert before he became president of Barcelona. And it just shows, like, he has run that club into the ground completely. So we shall see what happens at Barcelona, and we at EFD will be keeping our eyes peeled on them over the next few weeks. It's sure to be busy. But Henry, that is all we've got time for on Transfer Review for this week. If they've enjoyed this, they should definitely go check out the podcast. Who was on it? What were you talking about?
Yeah, we had McCubs and Sam. We did a preview of a lot of the Euros games. That might seem a bit outdated, but it was I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun conversation, and you get a little insight into the Football Daily offices as well throughout that as well, and looking at some of the top players. But yeah, go keep checking out all of our content.
Absolutely, yeah. I listened to that podcast on a run yesterday. I thought it was absolutely excellent. So go check it out. Even if it is slightly dated, it was a lot of fun to listen to. So go enjoy that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.